Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 LEGO Star Wars sets that I personally own. That's not out of all the sets because I don't own every single set, but these are going to be the sets I own. Now before I go further into this video, I'm going to be, basically saying that most of these sets are going to be the big, most well done sets, basically because I'm not going to be choosing the A-Wing Starfighter or a Battle Pack, mainly because those are just army builders and play sets. These are the sets that are basically collectors stuff, and the sets that they've put the most effort into. So the first set here is the 2013 Republic Gunship. I choose this set because, this is mainly, I guess you could say, a play set. This is going to be the only play set I'm actually including in. Oh, there's one more play set, basically. This is the most recent set release that is in this video. That's going to be in this video. I choose this mainly because there's so much detail and so much effort put into this ship. This was the third version of the gunship, and it's representing Episode 2, which is the second version representing Episode 2. There was one back in 2002. I choose this because, it's the most sturdy out of the three. The cockpits don't fall off, like the 2008 version. Includes the most minifigures. It's got these awesome, well-done bubble guns that move in and out. The pieces up here, like the bubble guns or whatever you can call them, don't fall off as much, or they did just fall off. So never mind, they still do fall off a little bit. I'll just put them on later. That is one problem with this set, is that these still fall off. Other than that, it's very well done. The sticker in here is more well detailed than the last one was. There's no studs in here so that they can just fit in there and come out nicely. And he just came out too nicely. This is a great set. I just love it a lot. There's a lot of room to put minifigures in here, and I will show you. I'm not going to go through all the features because I've done a review on this set, but as you can see, there's a lot more room in there than there was in the previous versions, and it's got these like the 2008 one did. Basically, there was, I don't know if I'm right, but every single figure in this set is still exclusive to this set, except for the Super Battle Droids. I might be wrong on that. I think so. Anyways, it's got this thing back here that's very sturdy. It's also got this compartment back here that can store a lot of stuff, which is very nice. And it also comes with this nice speeder that fits in there very nicely and doesn't block room for people to stand in the gunship. And also, people can fit in there. And they included an extra rack of flickfire missiles, which was very nice as well. So the 2008 one is better in some ways, and this one is overall better, I would say. So this is my top 5, or 5th out of my 5 choices. I'm going to be going from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's take a look at my 4th favorite set. Alright, so this is my 4th favorite set of all time. Like I said, these are going to be highly well detailed, some of them UCS sets. So this is my 4th favorite choice. This is a Ultimate Collector set and is recommended for 16 and up. So this is a pretty tough build, but that's not why I choose it. I choose this because when you look at it, you know it's R2-D2. There's no flaw to that, like the Technic R2-D2. You're not going to really say, ooh, who is that, in this model. So I love this set a lot, mainly because there's so much detail put into this thing. They even included a little minifigure of R2-D2 so that you can compare it. It's very, very big compared to the minifigure. It also does have some features where you can open this stuff, and there's a knob right here that you can turn, and it will put that out. And that is also with the saw on the other side. There's a saw. So, kind of hard to do this with one hand. I'm not using my tripod right now. But I choose this because there's features, and it's just a mainly just for Star Wars fans, honestly. Even if you're not into Legos, you're just going to want to have this. So the head rotates and stuff like that. Inside this head, there's a bunch of colored Technic pieces and stuff like that. There's only one problem I have with this set, is that the legs are a little hard to position in this way. That's why I keep it this way, because I don't want to keep on doing it over and over again. So it's a little hard to put that in that position. Kind of falls on you sometimes. That is the only problem I have. But that does not affect the design and how much effort was put into this set. And that is exactly why I'm choosing this as my number 4 choice. So let's take a look at my 3rd choice. Alright, so my next choice is, yes, again, another UCS set. Well, just because, look at it, it's just a fantastic model. This is the LEGO Star Wars Imperial Shuttle from 2010. Retailed for, I think, $280, 260 bucks. I got it after it was discontinued. For a pretty expensive price. But this is just a fantastic set. Definitely one of the best sets I've ever gotten. This is my number 3 choice, mainly just because of a lot of stuff. The only problem I got with it is that Technic stuff sticks out so much, but who cares? Excuse me. It doesn't affect the overall design again. It's very tall. Second tallest LEGO set I own. Actually, yeah, second tallest. With the stand. It does come with that awesome Technic stand, and it gives out the details just like the R2-D2 did. And this one still does have features. So these turrets can move them down. And there's things back here that can roll up the wing and stuff. It's a little of a pain, so I'm not going to show you too much. And the cockpit can open. And before I go any further, this is actually the minifigure scale of an Imperial shuttle in the real Star Wars universe. And they actually made that into a Star Wars design. So I'm just going to go ahead and compare it, what it's really like in the Star Wars universe. So that's how big an Imperial officer really is to the shuttle. So it's absolutely huge. And it's fantastic that they actually did this in scale, which was really cool. And it comes with 5 minifigures, these 4 and Luke Skywalker. So you can actually fit 4 people in the cockpit, just like the movie, which is very cool. And it includes a Stormtrooper, Darth Vader, Imperial pilot, and Imperial officer. I think they call him a commander in this set. But the cockpit can open and close, and it's very heavily detailed. This is definitely the best Imperial shuttle they have released. The other ones are still very expensive too, but they're very less detailed than this one is. So this is definitely, well, yep, this is the hardest set I've ever had to build out of any LEGO sets I've built, mainly because there's so much Technic in this set. As you can see, the wing is basically all Technic, and so many pieces are the same color, so it's pretty confusing. So this is the hardest that I've ever had to build out of any brick thing, really. Although the Creo Enterprise was harder than this, just somehow it was. But this has been the hardest just because of that. So people that don't have this and are not very experienced at building do not get this unless you're heavily into Star Wars and stuff like that. Still, if you're pretty experienced at building, I do recommend you still try to pick this up, unless you don't have $400 to spare. It's went up that much, guys. It's a very expensive set and pretty much rare now. So if you didn't get this when it was out, I wouldn't recommend getting it. It's pretty expensive now, although it is a very well done model. So let's take a look at my second favorite set. Alright, so here's my second favorite set. So most of these sets are already up here. Anyways, this is the Death Star, obviously. For those of you that don't know, this set is out. I don't know where you've been. This has been out for at least 5 years now. I think it's the longest set ever to still be on shelves, is the LEGO Star Wars Death Star. Came out in 2008 and is still coming out because they've made such good profit off of it. And I'm choosing this as my 4th favorite choice, basically because there's so much just play features and so much collectability with this set. It comes with 24 minifigures, which is insane. There's so many play features, I just don't have time to show you. I have done a full review on this, so if you want to go check that out, just search it on my channel. It's pretty long though, it's almost half an hour, so if you have the patience to watch that, go ahead. So this is the Death Star. There's so much with it that I love it so much. Most of these minifigures on here are not included though with the set. It's just great. The Super Laser is great. I wouldn't say it's better than the Death Star 2. I don't have that one from 2005. That one's more heavily detailed and looks like a much more challenging build. This is the largest build I've ever done out of any brick model. It has 3,800 and something pieces. Very big set. It is only rated for 14 and up, so it isn't a too challenging build. It honestly wasn't that bad. The only thing I had trouble with was the string back there. Not very good with the strings in brick sets. But other than that, the build is quite easy. Super Laser a little tricky, but anyone that's built 500 pieces and above that, you could do this. It's not very much repetitive, a little bit, but just a great set, and I was going to put it as my number 1, but just mainly because it's so hard to move. But other than that, it's just a great set. So let's take a look at my number 1 set of all time. Alright, so before I show you guys my number 1 choice, I didn't want to spoil it immediately. It is the second largest set I've built of all time. You've already seen it in this video. And that is the Superstar Destroyer. So every single set I've had up here, except for one, is already displayed on this table. And except for the Republic gunship. This is my #1 choice, mainly just because the model is absolutely stunning. It is fantastic. It's very, very big. Very, very big. If you don't have display room for this, don't get it. Yeah, it takes up so much room that basically is just almost as long as this huge table right here. It's almost as long as that. This is the Superstar Destroyer, if you don't already know the name for it. It was released in 2011 and is still available to buy for $399. It is very expensive. I am 15 years old, turning 16 in a month, so that's why I was able to build this. So it's a very, just the best set I've ever got. It's just so good. Just fantastic. And even they included minifigures in this set, which was even greater. They included a scale model of the Imperial Star Destroyer, of how big that is in the Star Wars universe compared to that. And if you guys have seen an Imperial Star Destroyer, that is a huge ship, and that's how big it is compared to this thing in the real Star Wars universe. So that shows how big this thing really, really, really is. It is not to scale. I mean, if they did it to scale, the price would be probably even over $1,000 just to buy it. So it still turned out great at this. And they included the minifigures because they have an opening hatch like that. And I also have done a review on this if you want to go check that out. So it's just a great set. And if you want to read the plaque about it and stuff like that, just go ahead and pause the video. This is just the best that I've ever bought because there's so much detail in it. It wasn't very much of a tough build. I would say people can do this. Like I said, if you built anything 500 pieces and above, you could do it. The only challenging part is really snapping these big panels on. But the set is just great. I love it. Recommend it to anyone. If you have the money, it's really tough to get. I saved up for a long time to get this thing, and my parents helped a little bit pay for it. But this is a fantastic set, and I definitely recommend you get it before it goes discontinued because the price will go skyrocketing and stuff like that. So this is just the best that I've ever bought. And that kind of concludes this video. Before I go, I'm going to give a shout out to L'Occitane. If you guys know who he is, this was his idea on doing his top 5 LEGO Star Wars minifigures and sets, and least 5 favorite sets and stuff like that. So credit goes to him. He doesn't do videos anymore, I don't know why. But in his top 5 video, he said the reason why I didn't pick the Death Star, and he does have an Imperial Star Destroyer, he didn't pick those two because he says you can't do anything with them. And that was a very good point that he brought up with. I agree with that you can't really do anything with the Super Star Destroyer. He likes sets that you can actually kind of play with and stuff like that. But I completely understand his point. But for me, it's mainly about how much effort and just how cool the set is, in my opinion. For example, these 3 sets right here are my 3 favorite sets I own. And yes, they are all big sets. It is mainstream, but, you know, it's just because they are the best sets. They are the best sets they've done, in my opinion. So that's basically it for this video. Please comment your favorite set and maybe even your least favorite set. So please look forward to my top 5 favorite Mega Bloks sets. I'm going to do that after I get the Mammoth because I'm pretty sure that's going to be in there. So yeah, so thanks for watching.